everybody, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com, and today we're going to do a quick shootout between 4 different plugins that model the dynamic section of the SSL 4000E series desk. The first one is the recently released FG Dynamics from Slate Digital. The next 3 we're going to compare are the universal audio version of that same channel strip, the Waves EV2, which is pretty new, and the brainworx BX Console SSL 4000E. The first question you may ask is why not the actual SSL native version of their channel strip? And that's because number 1, it doesn't model the full circuit path of that desk, and number 2, it's not a 4000E series. It's based upon a 9000K, so that one we're going to leave out of the mix for now. These are all based upon the same desk, the 4000E series. The way I set up the shootout is a little bit different than what I've done in the past. Instead of trying to match the setting of the knobs, which will achieve slightly different results depending on how they modeled the knobs in the plugin, I tried to null them. So what I did is set one up first, get the dynamics processing I'm looking for that characteristic SSL snap. Then I flipped the phase on the 3 channels I'm trying to compare here, one at a time, and I tried to null versus the original. So the knobs you might see have slightly different settings between them. That's because that's the closest they get to nulling. And they, of course, will not null completely. They are not the same plugin. They use different modeling techniques and model the circuit differently. But I got them as close as I could to nulling, which should get the closest results in terms of processing for the dynamics. So I'm going to play a loop of audio, just kick drum for now, starting with the FG Dynamics and then going through the UAD, Waves, and brainworx versions, and just keep toggling between them as the loop plays. You should listen on either monitors or good headphones to get the difference between them because it's pretty subtle. So here we go, starting with the VMR FG Dynamics Slate Digital version first. I'm going to do the exact same thing one more time, but you should really listen closely to 3 things. Number 1 is the transient of the kick, which each plugin handles a little bit differently. Number 2 would be kind of the beef of the kick drum, which some of the plugins keep intact and some kind of suck away a little bit. And number 3 would be the auto makeup gain, which is built into all of these because that background noise, which is not gated out, sounds a little bit different on these as well. So listen closely for those 3 characteristics. I'll go through these one more time. Now we are going to go through the exact same 4 plugins in the same order, the VMR SSL from Slate, the UAD, the Waves, and then the brainworx, toggling through, but on Snare Drum this time, and this time I hit the Snare Drum compression a little bit harder to even make it more obvious if there are any differences between them. So I'll just cycle through. Here we go, starting with Slate first. And we'll do the same thing one more time. And again, listen for the transient, the body of the snare, and the release, the tail of the snare, because they are a little bit different depending on which plugin is going. So again, we'll start with the VMR. So there it is, a quick shootout on kick drum and snare drum, really common uses for SSL style channel strips, the dynamic section of the new FG Dynamics versus 3 other really popular SSL channel strips. Let me know what you think, which is the winner, which sounds best to you. I'm interested to see what you think down in the comment section down below. And of course, if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down in that comment section too. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.